Our correspondent Nicola Morrison is at the Black Prince Community Trust in South London, which provides sport and educational sessions to the local community. What is the reaction there? Good morning.
Morning. Yes, as you can imagine, quite a sombre day here. As you said, I am at the Black Prince's Trust, where some of the players have actually come wearing Lakers tops in tribute to Kobe. I'm joined by Jason Henley, the community manager. Jason, so quite a tragic day. What was your reaction to the news?
I think it was just pure shock. I think trying to sort of convey that and trying to deal with that and let my son, who's only 12, know that he's lost one of his heroes. You know, my thoughts just go out to all his family. To lose, you know, obviously losing Kobe is losing a part of basketball in the way we look at it. So it's very sad.
What can we take away from his legacy and his life?
I think his life and his legacy transcended basketball. It wasn't just about basketball. One thing that comes to mind is the terminology sweatonomics. So how can we apply that to our education, to our work life, just everything we do? If we're going to do something, do it the Kobe way, let's do it the best that we can.
Thank you so much, Jason. Back to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Our correspondent Nicola Morrison is here with me for more. Nicola, this is obviously just happening in the last 90 minutes or so. The Chief Medical Officer giving as much information as he can.
Absolutely. So as we know now, the two family members are being treated in Newcastle. What we don't know yet is who they are, their gender, and where in the UK they're actually from. We know that a flight that came in last week into Wuhan didn't have the quarantine measures that are now in place for this flight. As you mentioned, that will be arriving this afternoon. So what we'll now be waiting to develop is who are these people and where indeed are they from.
Yes, and we don't actually know whether they had travelled to Wuhan, because I suppose, you know, the number of cases of human-to-human transmission outside China are very few, but there are some.
There are some. What we don't want is to cause hysteria. As we said, you know, at the moment, the new strain of coronavirus is low. The risk is less than 2%. Sorry, it is 2%, less than SARS at 10% and Ebola at 70%. So we don't want to cause hysteria, as I say. Obviously, with the new emergency announcement yesterday from the World Health Organization, there are going to be questions as to why that's happened, if so low. And I think the contributing factors will be, you know, the rising figures in China that are quite significant. But also I think there is some concern around the countries that have less health precautions in place, weaker health precautions in place, and the impact that those human-to-human contacts could have. So I think that's the reason.
Nicola, thanks so much for joining us. Well, let's talk now to Dr. Mark Eccleston-Turner.
This is BBC 5 Live.
Heard in the news, the Chief Medical Officer for England has announced there are 2 cases of coronavirus now in the UK. In England, presumably both members of the same family. Nicola Morrison, as BBC News' correspondent on this. What do we know of these cases, Nicola?
Hi, Adrian. Well, unfortunately, at the moment, not a great deal more. As you said, they are members of the same family and have tested positive for coronavirus. They are receiving specialist NHS care, and obviously details on the treatment will come to light as time goes on. Today, just in under 2 hours' time, we have the next passenger aircraft due to arrive in the UK from Wuhan, with 83 British citizens and 27 foreign nationals on board. What we do know is that the last flight that arrived last Wednesday did not have quarantine procedures in place. However, this one will have.
This news is obviously going to be quite a shock to the system. It's not unexpected, but it is going to mean that medical professionals are going to be much more keen to try to track down others who've come in.
Absolutely. I think if nothing more, this is now caused that cautionary stage of being more aware of where those people are in terms of, you know, the 2-week period where symptoms may not even present themselves. So I think if nothing more, it's definitely lessons learned that we need to know where these people are once they enter into the UK.
And the details of the quarantine, how much is known about that?
At the moment, we don't know a great deal about the quarantine details. We know that they will be travelling up to Arrow Park Hospital, where they will then stay for 2 weeks. We know that that's near to the Liverpool Tropical Medical Centre, so that may have informed why they will be travelling up there. But very limited information, I'm afraid, at this time.
And obviously, because this has been unfolding for a little while now, officials, professionals are being geared up for exactly this scenario breaking out. So no doubt procedures will be stepped up immediately. Presumably those around the two that have tested positive are going to have to be taken in for quarantine as well.
Absolutely. I mean, how they will then separate those from those that have not yet presented symptoms, I don't know. But I think what we do know is that there will be a step, as you say, a stepping up of the procedures.
Nicola, thank you very much.